Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are watching the Draft All-Stars. We have brought back some of our favorite players and casters to duke it out in one-off shows. This week, we have Flurry versus Zlewikk. Now, the format is going to be quite similar to what you saw in the final. I am, of course, joined by two of my favorite casters. It's Count Christo and Ludi. Hello!
Team Zlewikk.
Meow.
I have no biases.
Our casters is Count Christo and Ludi as a cat. Count Christo, what are we doing with the quests tonight?
We have, just like the finals of the draft, you have 30 quests on the board with a 60-minute timer to try and complete as many quests as possible from the ones they've selected. For every quest they've completed, they get 1 point. For every quest they haven't completed, they lose 2 points.
Welcome back to Zlewikk and welcome to the show, Flurry. This coin has scales on one side and a dragon on the other. Flurry, would you like scales or dragon?
Last time I picked dragon and I won, so I'm gonna pick dragon again.
I'm gonna take another one. It's scales. Zlewikk, do you want to go first or second when it comes to picks? You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Challenge number 27, pillage the capital of a great power.
Flurry, now you know what Zlewikk wants to play. What's your quest pick?
200% over.
We're back to Zlewikk.
I'll go for number 11, Unite Your Culture Group.
Flurry, your second pick.
I know what he's gonna do, I think. Okay. Have 10,000 ducats.
And we're on the ban phase. So, Zlewikk, your first ban, what would you like to get rid of?
I'll go for challenge number 5, convert to extra-continental religion.
Flurry.
Form 2 tags.
Zlewikk, your third pick.
I will go for challenge number 31, release a nation with 10 provinces.
Flurry, your third pick.
Have 8 or more alliances.
Zlewikk, your fourth.
I'll go for challenge number 15, so 2 sets of 8 matching provinces.
And we're back to Flurry.
Darn it.
I like how tense this is getting.
Complete 4 age objectives.
That has activated another ban phase. Zlewikk, what would you like to ban?
It's gonna be S2, enforce rebel demands through war.
Flurry, what would you like to ban?
Have 50 trade value home trade node.
And we're back to picks. Zlewikk, your fifth pick.
Number 16, have the most sailors globally.
Flurry, what would you like?
Should have banned that one. And then he's gonna pick the heavy ships next.
No,
okay.
if you pick it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm not gonna have a coastline, so that's why I should have banned the sailor thing. Have an estate reach 100 influence.
Zlewikk, your sixth pick.
That's gonna be number 23, have 30 heavy ships.
Flurry.
I don't know if he's gonna pick Korea or if he's gonna pick Jin Shao. I don't know. This one's really difficult because I don't even have this achievement in the game. But actually, let's not do that one then. I'm gonna pick S14. Have 3 vassal integrations running at the same time.
We're now at 6 picks, so it's time to ban more stuff. Zlewikk, what would you like to ban?
I will go for on 5 great projects.
Flurry, what would you like to ban?
Violently take a core, then ally the former core holder.
Back to picks, and I get to remind you that you can stop taking quests whenever you want. You're currently both sitting at 6. Zlewikk, would you like a 7th?
Yes, I will go for number 24, have over 50 corruption.
Flurry, would you like a 7th?
100 prestige and 100 legitimacy.
Zlewikk, back to you.
Get 25 national unrest.
Glad I don't have to do that one.
Flurry, would you like an 8th pick?
I mean, okay, I exceed gov cap by 100%.
You both have 8 picks. That means you get to ban yet another quest. Zlewikk, what would you like to ban?
I will go for number 22, a hand game manpower.
Flurry, what would you like to ban?
So the mission one would require me to also do 3 subject missions, right? I'm banning that one.
Okay, so number 9,
like subject.
complete 7 missions. Zlewikk, would you like a 9th?
Yes, that's gonna be S6. Have 2 of your starting rivals cease to exist.
Flurry, would you like a 9th? I mean, you don't have to. Remember that if you fail, it's -2. You only get 1 for each.
60 minutes, right? 60 minutes.
60 minute on a
Single
parsec
player
computer.
speed 5.
Yeah.
I have 100 trust with 2 nations.
Zlewikk, would you like one final pick?
No, I'll pass here.
Flurry, would you like one final pick? For context, if you pick a 10th, you get to pick nation first. Otherwise, Zlewikk picks nation.
Come on. I own land in 3 continents.
Okay, that is quest board about as filled up as I've ever seen one. Flurry, what nation are you playing?
Oirat.
Oirat. Zlewikk, what nation are you playing?
I'll be playing as Korea.
Okay, we have Oirat and Korea. I'm going to let you go prepare and hand this off to our casters.
All right, there we have it. Apparently, we have a Team Florry Cat Oirat Korea pick. We're going to see 2 fairly symmetrical games here, it seems like, right?
Oirat is a really great nation.
Yeah.
And Oirat's going to win. Just say, what?
I don't know they're going to win. I don't know they're going to win, but they're definitely a good nation. There's going to be a race to Mingsplode, essentially. These guys picking a lot of challenges. I mean, we were saying while they were picking, there's every chance they could go down in flames, because the thing about this scenario is that they're both really pushing, right, to try and get as much as they can, which risks both of them imploding. It doesn't take many challenges missed, as we've seen in previous weeks, for it all to collapse. What do you think the hardest challenge on the board is right now? What's going to be someone's thorn in their side?
So I think that a lot of the challenges are easy to complete, but I think 1 hour is very, very short. Zlewikk knows this firsthand. He's got a lot of experience with it. Florry might struggle with it. Like, obviously, all of that stuff's easy for Florry to do. But 1 hour, as Zlewikk has found himself in the past couple of sessions, it can really be extremely stressful, and it can really push it to the limit, right? 200 overextension was one that Florry picked today that Zlewikk picked, I think, last or two sessions ago.
And we are off to the races. Let's get into it here. So, yeah, I mean, Oirat going for 200% overextension. You know, one way to do that would be 2 really early wars against Ming and just not coring in between. But I feel like that's going to put him in a tough spot. We'll see, though. Over on Zlewikk's side, obviously he's already got the culture group united. Zlewikk also coming into this as someone with way more practice. So
definitely, I think that's going to be coming into play a lot.
Yeah.
And the choice that he made for his nation is really good too. Like, he can get pillage capital of a great power easily in the first war against Ming once Ming does their after the first reform, really. So Zlewikk already starts with the Unite Your Culture group, as we already mentioned.
Yes.
He will eventually get the 50 corruption as he goes along the campaign. 30 heavy ships is not an issue either. Own 2 sets of 8 matching terrain provinces. What do you think will be those terrain provinces?
You can just get farmlands in northern China, I'm pretty sure. By farmlands, I mean plains, whatever it's called. Grasslands, I think is what I'm thinking of. He could do, with only 8, he could probably do mountains. Am I crazy thinking that?
Mountains is the easiest one because it's full of mountains in the Jiangsu and the northern bits of his country.
He starts with 4, I think. So he's looking good there.
Yeah, he starts with 4. You can get another 4 from the first war with Jiangsu, right? So that's not an issue.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd like to highlight something that Zlewick's just done. This shows like the next level meta plays that this guy's done. He did his initial estate setup, then he unpaused at speed 5, tabbed out to Discord to report that he had got the culture group done while the game was running, and then came back in. This is someone who is conserving every single second of their time. You love to see it.
What do you think is going to be the play for Florry? What do you think he's going to go for first? Obviously, he's going to go for Ming, right? Get the bank of Ming rolling.
You have to imagine he's got the 10k ducats one to get. Shouldn't be too difficult as long as he gets loads of Chinese dev.
For sure, yeah.
He's going for the Alliance mission first, it looks like. Having a little bit more trouble with it.
3,000? I'm guessing 3,000 each time he goes for Ming before they collapse.
If he wants to, yeah. What we've seen in previous weeks, though, is essentially it being almost impossible to get the Bank of Ming to pay out more than once. There's the Ming War, though, not waiting at all, planning on just hoping to win a quick battle against the leader, you'd have to imagine.
It's begun. I think his alliance prospects, the 7th and 8th one, might come from the Tibetan side.
All right, here's the attack. There's one leader in there. Florry going to be finding himself in a difficult position if he can't get this first battle successful, because he did not wait for the reform. Obviously cruising through here in flat terrain. Nice. Good victory. Good, pretty nice. And that's the air right there. Bomb. Done. Nice.
There we go.
Capture the Ming Emperor.
There we go.
Beginning to tank the Mandate and actually stat wiping my lord. Well, Florry is certainly off Zlewikk. A little bit of a slower play, accepting the tributary status, or at least not immediately getting rid of it, and going for Manchu tribes early on. As you
Definitely
said,
a
probably
good play.
go to the mountains.
Very good play. As long as he fights them in mountainous terrain, he's going to easily win all of those engagements since the tribes get the -25.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna be pretty darn good. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about where Florry's gonna struggle, because it's worth zooming out for a second here and considering that, right, Zlewik's got 9 challenges, Florry has 10. That's really putting the pressure on Zlewikk, because if Florry can complete all of these 10, I'm going to say the very obvious, that 10 is higher than 9. And if he can complete all 10, he can guarantee himself the victory. He doesn't even have to depend on any kind of misplay or failing from Zlewikk. There's the capture of Beijing, gives him the instant occupation. Nice. And there we go.
Need
First withdrawal from the Bank of Ming for Florry, looking pretty good. Nice, going well for Zlewikk, ranking through his missions. And
do you reckon he's going to fully annex Jiangsu in the first war? I don't think I've seen any subject-related quests, yeah, so he should.
It's going to be interesting because I think most people, Zlewikk included, I should mention, consider Florry to be a slightly superior player.
And we've learned in this competition so far that it's not necessarily about the skills of the player, but how well they adapt to the specific objectives that they've chosen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
also,
of course, makes the draft a really good competition, in my opinion.
Yeah, it can all change in an instant. Florry has achieved his first objective. 8 alliances done. Nice. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be darn close.
How many objectives do you think Florry's going to finish?
Well, to be honest, let's get the objectives up here, but keep on Zlewikk.
So the 10,000 ducats 4-age objectives are pretty much already done. It's
we're
not difficult. 100 prestige legitimacy again. Estates influence okay.
Yeah.
Trust with 2 nations is just a matter of min-max. Well, keeping an eye out on your recurring favors, and keep an eye out on your alliances. 3 vassal integrations at the same time. What do you think he's going to do with that? What do you think he's going to vassalize?
I don't think it's that difficult. My suspicion would be that he would just release nations. It seems easier.
True. I mean, he already starts with the Mongols, right? He just needs to start integrating. He doesn't need to fully do it.
Yes, it's true. They don't have to all complete, but we'll see.
Honestly, I feel like his objectives are really, really easy to do. All of them.
You're right.
It's a matter of timing it right, though. That's the thing. Own land in 3 continents as well. I'm guessing he's going to have to snake towards Europe and Africa, right? That would be the closest for him.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be a bit tricky. The overextension shouldn't cause a problem. The only thing is that overextension, it puts you in a dangerous place to be playing this fast. Like, we all know Florry can handle, being really high overextension, being crazy debt, getting that Florinomics going, but doing it really, really fast is surprisingly more challenging. I think the thing that Florry may struggle with is... I think the trust with 2 nations might take longer than he bargains for. That's not something that people tend to do very much, so it's not something that even really expert players know exactly how long it will take. And then I think land in 3 continents could be tricky.
I personally think that's going to be the hardest for him, because it does imply that he's going to have to snake around a lot, right? Yeah. Which is not difficult to do, but it's a matter of getting all that done within an hour.
Exactly. So. Yeah, it's not too challenging, but just takes a while. Just talking through Zlewikk's challenges, 2 sets of 8 matching provinces, easy. Most cities in the known world basically just requires him to overtake Ming, and Ming Explosion does that for him. So I don't think he's going to have too much trouble there. 30 heavy ships requires something of an economy, and there is a difficulty modifier on that. It requires you to have less than 1 inflation.
He's got a really good ruler, though. He can just lower the inflation, and he can get the money from the Bank of Ming a few times. So that's more than enough for the 30 ships.
50 corruption, that's one I'm assuming he's planning to do fairly late. Because 50 corruption is
started
painful.
with it, though. That can take a little bit of time. So maybe he forgot about it.
It's a couple of minutes. I think it's about 3 or so minutes per 5 corruption, I think. So he could do it in the last maybe 15 or so. I haven't done the maths. I mean, if I was right on those numbers, he'd need like the last 30. So I'm not sure. That one's gonna be tricky. 25 national unrest, that's not too bad. Just tank your stab and declare war on people who you have military access with. Should be very doable if he does it late. Pillage capital great power. I have to imagine that's going to come out in this war. Very risky to not do it in your first Ming war, because Ming can stop being a great power pretty darn quick. You let them implode. Release a nation with 10 provinces, which has to be done.
Oh, he's got that one.
He does.
Maybe maybe Shun. Does Shun start with cores? Ming starts with a lot of cores of different Ming nations, right? So he could say release.
There's a couple of good options. I wonder which one he's planning
Yeah,
on.
Shun's got more than 10. Shun's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 exactly.
Have 2 of your starting rivals cease to exist. Pretty easy as Korea. They're going to be Manchu tribes. It's not going to be difficult.
Yeah,
He should have himself in a pretty darn strong position there. Snaking down through Ming pretty well. Gosh, looking very nice. This might be the fastest second Ming peace deal that we've ever seen, I think, in the draft so far. I mean, it's going to be...
He's going for the fortifications whilst Ming still has them, right? Because a lot of the times Ming's deletes the fortification, so he's done it really smartly, you know? Like, just go for the forts quickly so he can do what he needs to do, right?
Yeah, allowing yourself to...
look at that juicy border gore. I love it.
Ooh, and he is truce breaking repeatedly. This is going to be the 3rd truce break onto Ming here. Interesting. I wonder if Zlewikk's going to take a similar approach, because if he doesn't, he might find himself behind the 8 ball. We are already 1/4 of our time in. But, I mean, Florry is in a dangerous position. You know, of course, we know he loves to run on that knife edge of bankruptcy and problems, but he's got, you know, disasters brewing, no manpower. Getting there on that overextension, 152%. So obviously this answers the question about how he's planning to get that 200 overextension. I was thinking maybe he'd do it later, just like queue up a bunch of wars, full occupy, like 6 or 7 people, and followed by releasing the nations, releasing the vassals. And that gives him vassals, and of course it lets him integrate all that land super, super fast. But he has to hold it together until then, which is, you know, it's a race against the rebel clock right now. Right now, only the estates and alliances completed. There we go. Zlewikk taking the lead again, up to 3 completed. He did the Beijing pillage, and he's got 15 matching. I mean, Zlewikk playing more safe, more cautious. Exactly. He's also, it's worth noting, focusing very heavily on the coast, which obviously makes sense. He wants the 30 heavy ships. He wants the most sailors. I mean, yeah, the safer play. The thing about the safer play is going for 9 challenges. You know, he did put himself in the position to be behind. Florry still charging around. I have seen Florry do some horrendous things to Ming before in these kind of time frames, but honestly, with 20 minutes gone, Florry has spent almost all his time basically achieving the 200% overextension objective.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of how Zlewikk did it previous session, and kind of like it took him way too long. He didn't get enough time to focus on the other objectives because of it.
Obviously, gaining
I'm
land
seeing
off Ming.
the exact same play right now from Florry. I hope he manages to get it quick enough so he can do the other stuff, though.
Well, but there we go. I think that's 200% overextension, so he's going to be able to stabilize now. The other thing that it's going to help him with, obviously, is that once he releases these vassals, he can start cranking on getting ready to have those integrations going. And here we can see he's releasing some of those guys in the south, raising his way across China.
So now that he's going to start stabilizing his country, what do you think he's going to try and rush for next?
I mean, I have to imagine
he's only have 7 prestige, take note also, right? So that's one that's in the past, this objective has tricked people into thinking it's easy, but it's played out to not be so easy.
Yeah, it does. We didn't add the difficulty modifier to it in the end, so they are allowed to cancel rivalries. I think he'll probably do a series of wars. 4 age objectives. I mean, he's going present on 2 continents is obviously... I mean, he's got to get that one if he's going to get land on 3 continents. And yeah, I mean, not releasing as many vassals as we were expecting. He is just coring his way through quite a hefty chunk. Yeah. He has kind of insulated Ming from some of their rivals by taking so much of the coastal land, the borderland.
I think he's also trying to prevent Ming from completely collapsing as well. He's got that colonist already, right? So he's going colonial. So yeah, pretty much just Nogai provinces, 2 wards, Uzbek, Nogai, or maybe 1 if they're allied, right? And then just have a colony, basically. That's not the toughest war in that case for him. There you go. He's already going for the Uzbek. What? Not the strongest, the hardest objective. What is going to be the hardest objective in that case?
I mean, he's looking very strong to get the clean sweep here. It can always fall apart. You know, he's got a lot of money, and money solves a lot of problems.
For sure, for sure.
And, I mean, even if we try and keep the subject on EU4 here. But that said... You know, it's going to start to wear on him. He's at negative stability. He's got no manpower. You know, he's going to have a lot of rebels. He's got a lot of separatist sentiment lying around the place. It's going to put him in a difficult spot in terms of just time, basically. You know, it's going to hurt. Let's take a look at Zlewikk here, though, because he has completed a number of objectives. Have 2 starting rivals cease to exist is done, and release a nation with 10 provinces is done. Look at that. Looking pretty nice. And it looks like right now he is pushing for the sailor number.
And the corruption, close. He's already got 10 corruption.
I think you could, if you did nothing else, you could get 50 corruption in 10 minutes, I would say.
For sure. If you just speed 5 it, and that's it.
Yeah. Cochin was the 10 province release. That's been a popular 10 province release nation so far in the draft. It's a good one. low dev, relatively low dev anyway. Most sailors in the known world, it looks like he thought he was about to get that just then. We do often find ourselves with our players in the situation where they, just get so close. It's very difficult to be able to predict what you're going to be able to get up to there. You can see here, trade centers going down, giving local sailor modifiers, I believe, the second level ports.
Sure.
Going to be helping.
I'm curious how many sailors he's got so far.
He's at 13.5 thousand, where Ming is at 14,000 something at the moment. Obviously, if Ming were to collapse, which they're certainly on their way to doing,
it's likely going to happen. Yeah,
he'll find himself in a very good spot there. And there we go. Zlewikk has got the sailors completed, looking pretty nice. 19,000. Oh, it's 18.5 thousand on Ming. Sorry, I misread that. Far more than I thought. Meaning that Zlewikk is only 3 challenges away. Honestly, it's starting to look like Zlewikk may have misplayed by not choosing another challenge.
I feel like Florry is going to get all of his 10 objectives achieved as well. So, yeah, it might come down to Zlewikk finishing everything and having like 20 minutes left.
Take a look at Florry here. I mean, I have to imagine, as long as things are staying... I mean, this is looking pretty bad. He's got the troops. AI is not rallying together too much, but he's fighting hordes now. He can't... it's not... It's a big difference, bullying a collapsing empire to actually fighting a bunch of hordes allied up here. He's looking like this is
I feel like he can
tricky.
probably peace out Chagatai, though, because he's got the capital. Do they have any other fortifications?
It's possible he wants to vassalize them, but I don't think so.
Right, okay.
It's not. I'm not saying he does, but it's possible. See Dev pushing this for Renaissance, looks like. There is the... Look at the speed. I mean, this is definitely... I mean, the Clash of the Titans is not an unfair way of describing this. Look at the speed that we're seeing here. It's similar to Corbett last week. Really absolutely plowing through, but not quite. No opening the console, Florry. What are you doing?
Oh, boy.
All right. I mean, he's looking like he's managing to pull this war back. It's taking time, though. And that's the thing that can't be afforded here. And he's still got 7 challenges yet to complete. I mean, look at this. But right now, look at that. He's at negative prestige because of some battles he's had to lose on his way to getting to this victory. But now he feels like he's thinned out their armies enough. He's pushing over. He's got some white pieces coming, potentially. But there is the snake over towards Europe. Looking pretty promising. But
he can get it in one war because he can get the province from Kazan. Then he doesn't need to start a war against...
Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
Yeah, and he does one of the age objectives as well in that case. So that means that he's going to be able to get 2 overall objectives done because he's going to have the feudal society eventually embraced, right? If he hasn't already.
Yeah.
He's also going to have the 2 continents provinces. So fairly quick, both of the objectives done afterwards.
Beautiful little assault there. Beautiful little assault. Apparently my my is a little robotic. I apologize.
I mean, you are a robot, right? So it kind of makes sense.
I will destroy you.
Explains the mathematic rants.
Scornfully insulting nations down here. We'll see.
Guess he's trying to tell us he's a rude boy. What do you think is the reason he's scornfully insulting nations?
He's trying to get some alliances in the south, so he's scornfully insulting their rivals.
To get the 25 relations with their enemies, yeah. I
mean, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. There's the Ming explosion. Little
look at that income
China
as well he's got there.
Yeah, looking pretty solid.
A good 6.9 ducats. Did you see that?
Excellent. Excellent. You love to see it.
Magical number of ducats you should be getting in your trade notes.
So I've heard. Let's take a look at Florry's perspective, because obviously it looks very much like Zlewikk has it in the bag. The question is, will Florry be able to do this? He has managed to pull himself out of that war. Very nice. I mean, we talk about it like a hard war. It was in some ways a hard war, but he came out of it with entirely his, the objectives he wanted. He got what he needed. I feel like where are his trust?
Does he need any more big wars now? I'm not even sure he needs any more big wars.
Does he have 3 vassals? He could release.
I mean, he could just release 2 more vassals, and he's got the 3 then.
But then he still needs time to run 10 years. And there we go. The transport building program has begun in order to facilitate him being able to go down to Oceania, I would imagine. We'll see.
Beautiful. Do you think he's going to go for the native tribes in the north, the Chuck E. Cheese ones? Yeah, he's definitely going for that. That's why he's exploring.
Getting the range from them would be my my presumption. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, you need to basically have one of those provinces in order to get the range for Alaska, if I'm not mistaken. Even though it's like right next to each other, it's like a big gap in actual colonial range, if I'm not wrong about it. Haven't played colonial in a while. Let's check the objectives to see what else we have left now.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's quite a lot. We're looking at 10,000 ducats still, which is doable. 4 age objectives, which should still be very doable. Yeah, it's the legitimacy, honestly. I think it's the sorry, not the
Yeah, he's already on minus prestige. Oh boy.
I know, it's pretty bad. But the 100 trust with 2 nations, has he even started getting that? Like, he has no allies, right? He could get it on subjects, I suppose, because you can curry favors with subjects these days. Oh, sorry, no, you can't curry favors, but you gain favors pretty rapidly. Not the idea. He did get declared on by Mongolia.
Maybe it was even intentional. Let's switch on over first to Zlewikk, see what's going on Zlewikk's side, because we've been focusing on Florry for a while here. Oh my lord, look at that. Zlewikk's got a massive Korea done. Let's check the objectives as well. Does he still have anything left? He's got 47 corruption, so he's 3 corruption away from 1 more objective. The national unrest is going to be the big question, though. How is he going to get the national unrest? As we all know, corruption also reduces national unrest. So there you go. He's going to go for a classic no CB on Chuck E. Cheese, or whatever you call that nation. Yeah, it's definitely called Chuck E. Cheese. That's a historical Russian name, in case you guys didn't know. Common name in Russia. 1 in 5 Russian kids are called Chuck E. Cheese, and the other 3 are VTubers. Ming's already exploded. That means that he's going to be really struggling with the 10,000 ducats.
He's going to struggle. I think what he's going to do with that is struggle, basically. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to find himself in a difficult position for sure.
He's not going to be able to loan up to 10,000, that's for sure. At least not yet.
Not yet.
Right? Not with the current situation.
Especially since he's already in debt. I mean, he doesn't have a 10k loan cap to begin with, but he also finds himself in a very difficult position just on that. So the robot that was attempting to replace me and live my life instead of me, sleep in my bed, I have killed him, took him out back, ripped the batteries out. No problem. Here we go. We can see him starting to try and get some prestige here. So 8 or so out of that war. Lots of bullyable Ming recently spat out rebellion stuff. So that's going to be very nice for the prestige gain that Florry so urgently needs here. He hasn't been currying favors. He hasn't been doing that. I mean, that feels like it's going to put him in a very difficult position.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, but when you have 1 hour, you cannot just take it one objective at a time. You have to do multiple objectives at the same time. And I think that pretty much comes with experience. I'm guessing anyone that's done the first season of the draft, that's they're going to have an advantage if they're going to be in the second season for sure over the other competitors.
No. Taking a quick look over at the situation on that is going to be pretty easy going now, as you were pointing out. Zlewikk does need to get his national unrest up, which the corruption is currently hurting, but he's got 14 minutes still, probably going to be good enough. He can obviously crank 20 from war exhaustion, 6 from stability. There aren't that many other ways, though, to crank your national unrest. What else could he do? Bankruptcy? I think does bankruptcy increase it?
I think so, but like 5 or something each time.
It's going to be tricky. Going to put him in a tricky position for sure. Okay, so what we need here, he has got the 4 vassals up. He needs 1 more vassal. But he's going to find himself in a difficult spot. He tried to dev push Renaissance, but he hasn't yet.
Maybe there's some disasters he could navigate?
Potentially. And then we see
remember,
Florry.
There's a lot of minus unrest that he's got already from the corruption.
His vassal migrated. That's so bad.
Oh my god.
That's so bad.
Oh my god.
And he's at his loan cap, and he's about to go bankrupt.
Oh.
Not looking ideal. Not looking ideal. Remember, he needs this so he's trying to get the range he needs to get over to America, which is looking pretty darn difficult.
He's gonna have to declare in the other one. He's gonna have to get the other one as a vassal and hope that this one doesn't migrate also.
Would that even help? Because he needs to be able to. The point is, you need to be able to vassalize one and then conquer the other.
Oh boy,
it's gonna be tough.
Oh, he's got one more. He's got Kodint. Kodint might be next to Chavchuvkini. Kodint might be in the Terra Incognita that we don't see right there.
Possible.
There's 4 of them in that area, right?
Yeah.
So it might be the other one to the northern bits. Oh, that is just not good RNG.
Yeah, and he's bankrupt in not very long at all. Here we go. So we can vassalize that one. He can vassalize that one. And then that will put him in a good position to be able to get that. I mean, it's looking difficult. Zlewikk, 100% of his challenges done. He's put himself in a very, very strong position. It's looking like he might go into this with a significant point lead. Congratulations, Zlewikk.
Congratulations, Zlewikk.
Looking darn good. A convincing display. Was there a moment where you were concerned, or did you believe all along?
I mean, I was a bit concerned about relation between national unrest and corruption. But then I started doing calculations, and in the end, I was like very sure I would do it.
So how did you get the national unrest?
So I got my legitimacy to like 10.
Of course, legitimacy. I forgot legitimacy. Yeah.
Also, one of the the internal expansion, how the government thingy is also giving unrest, and then like 30 of war exhaustion, and that's it.
Very nice.
Pretty good.
Very nice. Right, let's keep eyes on Florry here. I will be giving him a 10-minute warning in just a second, but it's looking very dangerous because if we look at the number of challenges that Florry has completed right now, it's 3 with 7 incomplete. This is the challenge. This is the situation that you often find yourself in here where he needs to go just so much faster. We will give him this warning now. This is your 10-minute warning, Florry. 10-minute warning. Godspeed.
10 minutes.
No response but a deep breath and hammering the spacebar. It's a relatable experience. I mean, there is his coastal province over near America at least. That gives him a strong position. 10,000 ducats, I do not see it. 4 age objectives, I do see it. All he needs for that is to continue pushing Renaissance and then embrace that. But he's going to need money to embrace it, and he's going to go bankrupt in just a moment. Governing capacity by 100%, he should be able to do that. 100 prestige, 100 legitimacy. I mean, he's finding himself in a bad place on tribal unity. Of course, you can buy it up with mill, but it's going to cost. It's going to cost.
Yeah, and you got to remember, he's only got 9 minutes left at this point.
3 vassal integrations. He does have the vassals here, as you can see, but I mean, right now, they all absolutely freaking hate him, so he's not going to be able to annex them anytime soon. But everything can change, with 8 minutes left. So realistically, what is the situation that he can pull himself up with? To leave this round with any points, with 10 on the board, I'm not going to do all the maths again for you, but he needs 7 objectives completed to get any points at all. If he gets no points, Zlewikk is going to walk into round 2 with a 9-point advantage. If Zlewikk walks into round 2 with a 9-point advantage, all Zlewikk has to do is pick 2 challenges and then get them done, and he wins. So it's going to be a very big ask in this situation, because if Florry walks away from this with 0 points, then all Zlewikk has to do is get higher than 10 total, and he wins. It's going to put him in a very, very difficult position. Look at this. Florry clearly a little devastated. Things not going his way. It's looking tough. It's looking tough. Sabir broke free, which is his European province. I mean, that is just frustrating. That is just frustrating. He's getting the divert trades in, trying to get that little bit more cash out. But honestly, it's looking pretty devastating. Florry is living up to his name. He is indeed worried. Bankruptcy continues to loom. He's managed to stave off bankruptcy so far, but it's pretty freaking tough. The other thing that this is doing, of course, Zlewikk, obviously, in very impressive play, managed to finish a little bit early. That means not only he secured the points, he's able to rest right now. Right, he's able to sit back, to take some deep breaths, to work on his mental.
Yes,
get his balance.
That is what EU4 players do. They totally don't play the game for 12 hours straight. They just have 40-minute bursts. That's how we do it, right, guys?
I mean, you can do both. You can do both. He's put himself in a very strong position here, and look at this. Oirat is imploding. Mongolia has taken a whole bunch of land. The question is now, is he going to be able to get 7 objectives done? It's not looking at all good.
Yeah.
He's granting provinces. Why is he granting provinces here? Oh, right. Someone was telling me this. It helps you with your loan cap somehow. But I don't understand why. You know this? You know this strange, this arcane tech, Ludi?
He's trying to get the loan so he can get the 10K. Yeah,
He's close.
I mean, that would work, I guess. But he's still got like 5 minutes left and 8 objectives. 6
yeah,
objectives.
I mean, even if he gets this, he needs 3 others. The age objectives are not unthinkable. The prestige
integration ones
unthinkable.
Would be impossible as well.
He's not going to be able to get the vassals loyal enough. He's only at 3,000 ducats. He's honestly not even close. It's not good. Can he? I don't think he can.
Yeah, he can.
No, I don't think he can. But look at that. With 4 minutes left, we could get him on the line. You can throw the towel if you would like for round 1.
Yeah, I'm throwing the towel. I'm throwing the towel.
Okay. That's a GG from Florry then. There were some devastating moments there. The migration. At the exact wrong moment, the migration was heartbreaking. 3 challenges completed for Florry. 3. That is devastating. Devastating victory. 3 challenges, of course, means that Florry will walk into round 2 with 0 points, meaning Zlewikk is going to be walking in with 9. I mean, that is devastating.
I believed in Zlewikk from the first time.
I don't think you did. One of us opened our casting today by saying Team Zlewikk, and it was not you. I mean, that is obviously a very bad result for Florry in round 1. There's still everything to play for, of course, in round 2.
Just to conclude the points-wise, then that's 1 point for me and Ludi for believing in Zlewikk, and Christo staying at 0 for believing in Florry.
I'm just gonna enjoy my point here and eat it. Thank you very much.
Slander.
I appreciate.
That's the game. Looking very good for the more experienced draft player going into Duel 2. Anything can happen if that thing is hubris when it comes to Zlewikk.
I mean, it's gonna be very challenging. I think it depends what Zlewikk does in this draft phase, which obviously we'll get to in just a moment here, but it's because if Zlewikk were to do a full draft board, he could lose, right? Yep. If Zlewikk took 2 challenges, he could achieve them, I would assume, receive 2 points to 11, and put himself unbeatable. Now the question is, of course, Zlewikk, he's a great EU4 player. He's also a showman, so I don't know if he's going to do that. I mean,
all of that and more will be revealed. And Christo, Ludi, we will see you real soon for Duel number 2. But in the meantime, we are going to go to a quick break, but we'll be right back with more of the Draft All-Stars.